Hello, this is Invector and welcome to my ritual guide for Path of Exile. In Settlers of Kalguur expansion, the most money I made from a league mechanic was from Ritual, by far. Back in Ritual League, people reported that they could get Mirror of Calandras consistently, and then it was nerfed, rightfully so. My brother is among those people who managed to get a mirror from Ritual. That is no longer the case, so why are we doing Ritual? GGG made 3 positive and 1 annoying change about Ritual. I'll first talk about the positive changes and then talk about the negative change. Firstly, Ritual-based monsters and their special loot. Ritual can now spawn affliction monsters. That includes bones monsters such as troll shamans. That means you can randomly get additional unique monsters in your ritual, which is very good. Moreover, these affliction monsters can drop omens, and some omens are worth a lot of currency. In Settlers of Kalguur League, I dropped an Omen of Fortune and sold it for 14 divines in the first week of the league, since people used it to get Radakash boots for their builds. Secondly, GGG added affliction items to the ritual reward tables. Some omens worth a lot of money, as I just talked about. Some corpses are worth a lot of money as well. I sold a couple of perfect warlords and a couple of perfect tigers, and perfect warlords are a divine orb each, and tigers are multiple divines each. Affliction rewards also include affliction base rings. The rare rings are rarely worth money, but the unique rings can be worth quite a bit of money. Also, you can get an audience with the king from Ritual. This puts you up against the king of the mists, and if you win, you can get a unique jewel called the Light of Meaning, which is very valuable. And thirdly, some of the new scarabs work really well with Ritual. Ritual Scarab of Selectiveness provide additional reroll for your ritual and makes the first 2 times free, and you can use 2 of these scarabs. There is also Ritual Scarab of Abundance, which increases favors by 100%. Please note that favor is the amount of items you see in ritual windows, and tribute is the amount of points you get from ritual. They are 2 very different things, which brings me to the third and final Ritual Scarab, Ritual Scarab of Wisps. This spawns a wisp in your rituals, and if you stay near the wisp, you get 70% increased tribute. Particularly good if you aren't a melee character and stay with the wisp as you are clearing the ritual. I find these unstable and unreliable, so I don't use these scarabs. In addition to ritual scarabs, there is also Divination Scarab of the Cloister. This scarab adds 8 to 12 additional packs of Deirdre's devoted packs to your maps, and these have a 1% chance to drop a stack deck. Not only do these packs increase the amount of ritual monsters you kill within the rituals area, increasing the amount of tribute you get, they also increase the amount of monsters you get if you use a ritual vessel on the ritual altar. They drop many stack decks and drop even more stack decks when you clear the same monsters again in the ritual. Sadly, they don't drop stack decks if you used a ritual vessel on the altar and then used it in the map device. The new annoying thing about ritual is tied to the affliction monsters. When some of these monsters die, they release this orb which follows you and pops moments after it touches you. So you need to be mindful of those when you are doing ritual. They are annoying and they come with the ritual package, but after having a lot of defenses, they stop being a problem. With all these changes, I can definitely say that ritual is back on the menu, boys. So how do we farm ritual effectively? First question is always, can I do it Alkengo? Yes, but it's not going to be pretty. This isn't like Expedition. The more favor you have, the more tribute you have, and the more rerolls you have, the value you get increases exponentially. So I don't suggest running ritual on an Alkengo routine. This is the 3 I suggest for running ritual. We grab Rogue Exiles, since Rogue Exiles are a natural addition to the map and will affect ritual, unlike things like Harbinger or Beyond. We block Legion, Expedition, Abyss, Breach, Delirium and Blight, because when you block a league mechanic, not only you don't get that mechanic in your maps, but you also don't get scarabs for that mechanic. So we are basically filtering out the low value scarabs from our maps this way. We grab most of the scarab nodes because we want high quality scarabs dropped in our maps. We grab most map effect nodes since pack size affects our strategy. We grab all the ritual nodes and none of the ritual keystones. We also grab singular focus since we usually want to do either 1 or 2 different maps. Maps where the last boss is not just one unique boss but many. Which map would this be good on? The obvious answer is Glacier. Glacier's first ritual always happens where a lot of packs of monsters spawn, so it's an excellent ritual vessel target, And the last boss is actually a pack of unique monsters. So if you get a ritual altar at the last boss, your ritual vessel will have 6 to 9 unique monsters. Unique monsters are key in ritual. I don't know the exact values, but if a normal monster adds 10 tribute, a magic one adds 20, a rare adds 50, and the unique adds like 400. Many unique monsters means much higher number of tribute, and it's speculated that the rarest items in Ritual appear with high number of tribute. It's not only my personal experience, but every other person's experience who has done Ritual. Not only you get a ton of money to spend on things in the Ritual window, the items you get in those windows get more valuable and rare as well. All Rituals have kind of a gimmick. Some of them shoot some missiles at random directions, some laser you through with ice lasers. The most dangerous one is usually the Chaos Spiral one, since people don't get Chaos resistance as much as they get Elemental resistance. So if your Chaos res is not maxed, you might die to this, so be wary. How should you do rituals? There are 2 phases, and you should jump between them when you are doing rituals. The first one is filling the ritual vessels phase, and the second one is spending blood vessels phase. You can skip the filling phase and just buy blood vessels, that's a choice. I, however, enjoy being self-reliant, so I don't buy blood vessels. I do buy ritual vessels though, and fill them myself and then use them myself. When you are in the filling phase and go into a ritual map and do a ritual, make a note of the amount of tribute you have in your mind, then add 3000 to it. For example, we started this altar with 1800 tribute, so we must end it with more than 4800 if you want to use a ritual vessel. If you end up with the calculated amount of at least 3000 tribute, then you can use a ritual vessel. It's either going to have a bunch of uniques in it, or usually more than 100 monsters, and that's a good vessel. If you somehow end up with 70 monsters, don't worry about it, it's still decent and usable. I run these maps with 5 cloister scarabs. The more packs I add into the map, the more monsters there will be in my blood vessels. Besides, the amount of stacked decks you get from this strategy is insane. 5 hours of farming might net you 5000 stacked decks. I sell these decks, but if you want to open them, be my guest, just remember to buy a new mouse soon, and a new middle and index finger probably. When you are in the spending phase, open the map with 2 selectiveness scarabs, 1 abundance scarab, and 2 blood vessels. You can always try other combinations, like 3 or more blood vessels, but know that putting 5 blood vessels won't work. GGG added a new map device slot, but didn't update Ritual. Small indie company, am I right? This is where we make the money, from actual rerolls. Since we have 2 selectiveness scarabs, the first 4 rerolls are free of charge, and we have a total of 6 rerolls. Know that items get more rare as you reroll, so don't make instinct purchases, always be mindful of how much tribute you got left. In the first rerolls, always defer. I don't suggest deferring small potatoes such as Chaos Orbs and whatnot, just check the fractured and synthesized items, look at the uniques, divination cards, and things like Divine Orbs. Best stuff such as Divine Orbs will be either on top left, or if it's free of charge, it will be on the bottom right, and they have about 1% chance to be free of charge, thanks to the Atlas tree. When you get to the later stages of the rerolls, consider buying things directly. For the last page, we need to leave about 5000 tribute, so you can spend until you got 5000 left. We will spend some of it on the reroll itself, and the rest will be used to defer something if we get something good. Tier 0 items such as Mirror of Kalandra and Mage Blood are worth 17,000 tribute, and deferring them will cost about 3000, so make sure you have at least 5000 left before the last reroll. To see the best items in the game, you need to see more items. The more items we see, the better chances that we will get something good, so make sure you spend all of your rerolls in every ritual. This might not be possible every time. For example, if you got the special ritual and have a lot of audiences that you need to defer, you might be short of tribute until you get to the last reroll. If somehow you are left with about 2000 tribute for the last reroll, don't even reroll. You might see something you cannot defer and it will haunt you. What makes money is this special ritual. When you hear this sound, that means you've hit it big this time. This means in every reroll you are getting at least an audience with the king, guaranteed. You will also see a lot of corpses and a lot of affliction rings, and many of them possibly worth a lot of currency. Make sure to grab every single audience. They are the core of this strategy. Majority of our income comes from those invitations. You can do them yourself, They are pretty easy, or you can just sell them in bulk. Thank you for watching my ritual guide. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if my video helped you. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.